Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Fantastic Fives. This week we're counting down the top 5 sidekicks in comics. In the 1940s, adding a sidekick to your superhero comic became a very popular way to boost sales with kids, as it gave the book a point of view that children could imagine themselves in the place of. As a result, many superhero books at the time included a kid sidekick, some of whom became more popular than the supposed headliner of the book. Here is a quick shout out to a few interesting players who didn't quite make the list. Green Arrow sidekick Speedy, who's probably most famous for using drugs and thinking that a dead cat was a baby. Wonder Girl, a Teen Titans founder who might have made the list except for the fact that she was never actually Wonder Woman's sidekick. The Newsboy Legion, who in their first incarnation were sidekicks to the Guardian, and in their second were sidekicks to a sidekick, Jimmy Olsen. Nightmare's sidekick Sleepy, who was a kid, a hobo, and a wrestling promoter all at once. The Little Wise Guys, Kid Gang sidekicks to the death-defying Daredevil, who became so popular they took over his book. And Aqualad. Maybe next year, guy. Keep on trucking. Okay, now on to the top 5. Number 5, Stuff, the Chinatown Kid. I can already hear the grumbles from comic fans out there. How come this guy that I've never heard of makes the list and not my dear favorite, Pinky the Whiz Kid? Well, hear me out. Stuff first appears in Action Comics number 45 from 1942 as the sidekick of the Vigilante, a modern-day superhero who dresses like a cowboy. Stuff's real name is Jimmy Leong, and he first helps the Vigilante expose a Japanese spy who is trying to start a gang war in Chinatown. After Jimmy is killed, his brother Victor becomes the new Chinatown Kid. What is notable about Stuff is that he is probably the most progressive portrayal of a non-white sidekick from the 1940s, especially when compared to his contemporary and fellow member of the Seven Soldiers of Victory, Wing. Stuff didn't speak in dialect, didn't wear a stereotypical outfit, and held his own as a sidekick, being perhaps the first truly all-American, Asian-American character in comics. Number 4, Rick Jones. Since kid sidekicks were a trope of the 1940s comics, and since what we consider the Marvel Age of Comics didn't start until 1961, Marvel Comics doesn't have as many sidekicks as its competitor DC Comics. As a result, one guy had to fill that role for a lot of heroes, and that one guy is Rick Jones. First appearing in 1962's The Incredible Hulk number 1, Rick was originally a teen sidekick for the Hulk, but would go on to help out Captain America, the Avengers, Rom Space Knight, and not one but 2 incarnations of Captain Marvel. Rick would briefly have powers himself as a monstrous A-bomb, but he has since returned to his more comfortable role as a superhero's number 2 man. Number 3, Bucky. Perhaps the most famous of the Marvel sidekicks, Bucky Barnes was for a long time best known for being dead. Originally appearing in 1941's Captain America Comics number 1, Bucky was the kid mascot for Camp Lehigh. But in his masked identity, he helped Cap and all the Winter Squad punch Hitler. When Captain America was brought back to the comics in 1964, however, it was revealed that Bucky didn't survive the war. There were a number of replacement Buckys, including our previous entry, Rick Jones, and an adult black man named Lamar Hoskins until they realized that was pretty racist, and he changed his name to Battlestar. The original Bucky, however, returned in 2005 as the Winter Soldier, and was even a shinier version of Captain America for a few years. Number 2, Kid Flash. The original Kid Flash first appeared in 1959's Flash number 110, in which Wally West, nephew of Iris West, a girlfriend of Barry Allen, the second Flash, receives powers identical to the Flash's through a coincidentally identical set of circumstances to those in which Barry gained his. Soon, Wally was zipping through his hometown of Blue Valley, roughing up beatniks and helping found the Teen Titans. More importantly, however, Wally took over as the Flash following his uncle's death in 1986, and would even surpass Barry's accomplishments to become the greatest Flash of all time, showing the importance of the sidekick to a superhero's legacy. Number 1, Robin. Come on, was it really going to be anyone else? Robin, who first appeared in 1940's Detective Comics number 38, was the first sidekick in comics, and completely set the template for every sidekick that came after. The original Robin, Dick Grayson, also set the model for growing up and becoming one's own hero, Nightwing in his case. A path imitated by his fellow Teen Titans as Speedy became Arsenal, Aqualad became Tempest, and Wonder Girl became a cluster cuss of continuity. Although Dick followed his best pal Wally in taking over the mantle of his mentor, he did that too, briefly taking on the role of Batman with a Robin of his own while Bruce Wayne was missing in time. Since Dick's graduation into his own persona, there has always been a Robin, whether it was Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, Damian Wayne, or Carrie Kelly. Robin was the first, and for now at least, remains the greatest kid sidekick of all time. Thanks for watching this episode of Fantastic Fives. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance for more comic facts, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comic awesomeness.